The moment my best friend Sarah kissed Marcus while wearing my wedding dress, my phone captured the entire scene. Tomorrow was our engagement celebration. I quietly stopped the recording and turned to leave the bridal shop. Grace, you're back? How was the wedding dress? Marcus asked, feigning nonchalance. I smiled and nodded, it fits perfectly. It'll be beautiful tomorrow. He didn't know that the beauty I spoke of was the sight of his public humiliation. Today was supposed to be the final fitting at the bridal shop. As the heiress of Linwood, my engagement celebration naturally had to be grand. This custom-made wedding gown was ordered half a year in advance and cost $800,000. Grace, you go ahead. I have a last-minute meeting at the office, Marcus said over the phone. Okay, then I'll have Sarah go with me. After hanging up, I messaged my best friend Sarah. 10 minutes later, she drove over to pick me up. Wow, you're getting engaged tomorrow. Are you nervous? Sarah asked as she drove. Not really, just a little excited. I watched the scenery rush by outside the window. I had known Marcus for 3 years, from friends to lovers, and now soon to be engaged. Although he wasn't from a wealthy family, he was capable at work and gentle and considerate. At first, William disagreed, feeling he wasn't good enough for me. But with my persistence, he eventually compromised. We're here, Sarah said, parking the car in front of the bridal shop. We walked into the shop, and a staff member enthusiastically greeted us. Miss, your wedding dress is ready. Please try it on to see if it fits. I nodded and followed the staff member to the fitting room. Sarah, wait for me out here. Okay. After changing into the wedding dress, I admired myself in the mirror. The lace patterns were exquisite and beautiful, and the layered skirt was as light as a cloud. How does it look? I pushed open the fitting room door, but wasn't outside. Your friend said she went tea. Oh, the restroom, the staff member explained. I nodded and sat on the sofa to wait for her. Over 15 minutes passed, and Sarah still hadn't returned. Feeling a little worried, I got up to look for her. No one was in the restroom. I was about to call her when I suddenly heard a familiar voice coming from another VIP fitting room. This wedding dress is truly beautiful. Don't I look just like a bride in it? It was Sarah's voice. Of course, you look beautiful in anything. Tomorrow, when Grace wears this dress, you're the one I'll be thinking of. My heart skipped a beat. That voice. It was Marcus. Didn't he say he had a meeting at the office? Why was he here? I tiptoed to the fitting room door. It wasn't fully closed, leaving a small gap. Through the gap, I witnessed a scene I would never forget. Sarah, wearing a white wedding dress, was tightly embracing Marcus. Marcus, we're doing Grace wrong. Sarah's voice trembled slightly. I know, but I just can't control myself. From the first time I saw you, I knew you were the one I truly wanted, Marcus said, caressing her cheek. Then why are you still getting engaged to her? Because she's the Linwood heiress, you know. My company needs capital to expand right now. Once I'm successful, I'll break it off with her, Marcus said calmly. Really? Of course, you're the only one I love. With that, Marcus lowered his head and kissed Sarah's lips. My hands were trembling, I could barely hold my phone. But I forced myself to stay calm, quietly turned on the recording feature, and captured the entire scene. After recording for a full 3 minutes, I tiptoed away. Back in my own fitting room, I took a deep breath, looking in the mirror. The woman in the mirror was pale, but her eyes blazed with fury. 3 years of a relationship, all a complete deception. And my most trusted best friend was the one betraying me. I changed back into my clothes, composed myself, and walked out of the fitting room. Marcus and Sarah had aura. Audie emerged from the VIP fitting room, both acting as if nothing had happened. Grace, how was the fitting? Sarah asked with a smile. Great, it fits perfectly, I replied, smiling as if nothing was amiss. Marcus, why are you here? Didn't you say you had a meeting? I asked, looking at Marcus. A flicker of panic crossed Marcus's face, but he quickly regained his composure. The meeting ended early, and I thought I'd come pick you up. Just happened to run into Sarah here too. What a coincidence, I said pointedly. Yes, quite a coincidence, Sarah echoed, but her eyes wouldn't meet mine. Marcus walked over and casually put his arm around my waist. We're getting engaged tomorrow. How about we have dinner tonight to celebrate? Sure, where should we go? Let's go to the hotel. Their cuisine is quite good. Okay, I'll make a reservation, Sarah offered. Watching their charade, I sneered inwardly. If they wanted to play a game, I would play along to the very end. At dinner, the 3 of us sat in the rooftop restaurant of the hotel. Outside the floor-to-ceiling windows, the city lights sparkled, presenting a dazzling night view. Come, a toast to tomorrow's engagement celebration, Marcus said, raising his glass. Cheers. We clinked glasses and each took a sip of red wine. Grace, you're really so lucky. Marcus is so good to you, Sarah exclaimed. Yes, I really am very happy, I said, smiling at Marcus. With such a loving fiancé and such a wonderful best friend like you. Sarah's smile faltered slightly. Oh, Sarah, when are you going to find a boyfriend? I can introduce you to a few, I said, making sure to sound intentional. No, thanks, I'm busy with work right now and haven't thought about that. Sarah quickly waved her hand. That won't do. A woman should still have her own partner, Marcus also said, playing along. How about this? At the engagement celebration tomorrow, I'll introduce you to some eligible bachelors. Really, it's not necessary, Sarah said, her expression a little unnatural. Watching their awkward performance, my anger flared even brighter. But on the surface, I remained all smiles. Marcus, have you prepared any surprises for tomorrow's celebration? I asked. Of course, but I can't tell you now. It's a surprise, Marcus said, smiling mysteriously. I prepared a surprise too, I said, taking a small sip of red wine. I guarantee it will leave a lasting impression on everyone. Marcus didn't know that the surprise I had prepared was his public humiliation in front of everyone. After dinner, Marcus drove me home. In the car, he acted perfectly normal, as gentle and considerate as always. Grace, what does tomorrow's celebration mean to you? He asked. A brand new beginning, I said, looking out at the night scenery from the car window. Starting tomorrow, many things will be different. Yes, we'll officially be engaged. Not just that, I turned to look at him. There will be many changes you can't even imagine. Marcus looked unsettled by my gaze. Grace, what's wrong today? You're talking strangely. Nothing, just feeling a bit conflicted. It's a big life event, after all, I smiled. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, my fiancé. After getting out of the car, I stood at the entrance of the estate, watching Marcus's car disappear into the night. Tomorrow's engagement celebration would indeed be a brand new beginning. Only, it wouldn't be the beginning of our marriage, but the beginning of my revenge. Back in my room, I locked the door and opened my phone. The 3-minute video lay quietly in my photo album, documenting their betrayal. I imported the video to my computer and carefully edited it. The picture was clear, and the audio was crisp. Every word Marcus said, including "she's the Linwood heiress" and "you're the only one I love," was recorded perfectly. This was the surprise they had prepared for me. Now, it was my turn to surprise them. I opened a social media platform and saw Marcus's recent social media post, "Getting engaged to the girl I love most tomorrow. Life is complete." The post included a photo of us, already garnering dozens of likes and comments. Marcus is so happy. When do we get to attend your wedding reception? I sneered inwardly at the comments. Tomorrow they would find out what complete really meant. I began preparing the materials I would need for tomorrow. First, there was the video. I edited it into a 3-minute highlight reel, emphasizing Marcus's words. Then, I gathered all the photos Marcus and I had taken together, along with screenshots of the sweet nothings he used to say to me. Comparing them to today's video would be quite shocking. Finally, I created a slideshow presentation titled "The Face of Mr. Marcus." It detailed our relationship and the truth I discovered today. The clock struck 3 a.m., and I finally finished all my preparations. Lying in bed, I stared at the ceiling, envisioning tomorrow's scene. The engagement celebration was set for 3 p.m., at the city's finest 5-star hotel. There would be over 200 guests, including our friends, family, and partners from both our companies. Marcus had invited many business figures to this engagement celebration. He wanted to use this opportunity to expand his network and pave the way for his company's growth. Unfortunately, he had miscalculated. Tomorrow's celebration would indeed make him famous, just not in the way he wanted. I envisioned several plans. Plan A, play the video publicly during the ring exchange. Plan B, reveal all the truth during the speeches. Plan C, let the celebration proceed normally, then deliver the final blow during the toast. After some thought, I chose Plan C. The contrast would make the impact even greater. My phone vibrated. It was a message from Sarah. "Grace, are you asleep? Tomorrow's your big day. I'm so happy for you." Reading her hypocritical message, I replied, "Not yet," a little excited. "Thanks for always being there for me. You really are my best friend. See you tomorrow, my dear best friend." The engagement celebration proceeded as scheduled. I wore the wedding dress I had tried on yesterday, with exquisite makeup, truly looking like a blissful bride-to-be. "Grace, you look absolutely stunning today," Sarah said, standing beside me and adjusting the hem of my wedding dress. Thank you, I said with a faint smile. She, too, was elegantly dressed today, in a pink evening gown, looking graceful and poised. If I hadn't known the truth, I might have been touched by her concern as a bridesmaid. Is the bride ready? The ceremony is about to begin, a staff member came to announce. Ready. I took one last look at myself and walked towards the ceremony hall. The hotel's ballroom was decorated like a fairy tale, adorned with white roses and pink tulle everywhere. Guests were already seated, and seeing me appear, they cast admiring glances my way. The bride is so beautiful. This engagement celebration is truly romantic. Marcus is a lucky man. I smiled and nodded to everyone, then walked towards the stage. Marcus stood on stage, dressed in a sharp black suit, looking handsome and debonair. When he saw me, a complex emotion flickered in his eyes, but it was quickly masked by a gentle smile. You look stunning today, he said, extending his hand. I placed my hand in his. Thank you. The MC began the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the engagement celebration of Miss and Mr. Marcus. Today is a beautiful day, as two people in love are about to make their vows. I stood beside Marcus, a perfect smile on my face, but my heart was counting down. Soon, very soon. The ring exchange went smoothly. Marcus placed a diamond ring on my finger, and I placed a ring on his. Now, please welcome the bride and groom for their speeches, the MC announced. Marcus began first. Thank you all for coming today. Grace is the most wonderful girl I've ever met, and being with her is the luckiest thing that's ever happened to me. I promise everyone here that I will love and protect her for the rest of my life. A round of warm applause erupted from the audience. Then it was my turn. I took the microphone and surveyed everyone present. Thank you all for attending our engagement celebration today, I began. Today is indeed a special day, because I'm going to reveal something truly special. Marcus glanced at me, a flicker of confusion in his eyes. Before we begin, I'd like to show you a short video. I gestured to a staff member, and the large screen lit up. Marcus's face instantly blanched. The video began to play, showing precisely the scene recorded yesterday at the bridal shop. Clear visuals, distinct dialogue, and that passionate kiss. The hall fell silent in an instant, everyone watching the big screen in shock. I know, but I just can't control myself. From the first time I saw you, I knew you were the one I truly wanted. Then why are you still getting engaged to her? Because she's the Linwood heiress, you know. My company needs capital to expand right now. Marcus's voice echoed clearly throughout the entire venue through the speakers. Whispers began to ripple through the audience. Sarah's face was ashen, wishing she could disappear into the floor. Marcus tried to stop it, but it was too late. The video ended, and a heavy silence descended upon the hall. I picked up the microphone again. Ladies and gentlemen, what you just witnessed was my fiancé and my best friend. Yesterday afternoon, while I was trying on my wedding dress, they were putting on this little show in the fitting room next door. A huge uproar erupted in the hall. Oh my God, that's outrageous. These two are absolutely shameless. Poor. Marcus's face turned ashen, and he tried to snatch the microphone from my hand. Grace, there's a misunderstanding here. A misunderstanding? I scoffed, dodging his hand. Then tell me, Mr. Marcus, wasn't that you in the vid? Yo? Weren't you the one talking about using my family's assets? Marcus was at a loss for words. I continued, for 3 years, I genuinely loved you. To be with you, I even went against my father's wishes. But what about you? What did you make of my sincerity? Some people in the audience began to applaud. Well said. That scumbag deserves to be exposed. Sarah finally couldn't take it anymore and rushed onto the stage. Grace, please let me explain. It's not what you think. It's not what I think. I looked at her. Then what is it? Is the video fake? Sarah stammered, unable to speak. And you, Sarah, my voice grew stern. Since college, I've considered you my best friend. Whenever you needed help, I never refused. But what about you? Is this how you treat your best friend? Sarah started crying. Grace, I was wrong, I truly was. But I couldn't control my feelings. Feelings? I sneered. You call this feelings? Betraying a friend, deceiving a lover, is that what you call feelings? The murmurs from the audience grew louder. I saw people already taking out their phones and recording. Good, that's exactly the effect I wanted. Marcus, Sarah, I'm telling you both right here, in front of everyone, as of today, any relationship between us is over. I pulled off my engagement ring and threw it to the ground. The sharp clatter was distinct in the silent hall. And, did you really think you could get something by attaching yourself to me? I'm telling you, you're mistaken. Starting today, Linwood will withdraw all investment intentions from your company. Marcus's face grew even uglier. Grace, you can't do this. I can't do this? Then when you betrayed me, why didn't you consider that I wouldn't accept it? I looked out at the audience. Friends, I apologize for this spectacle. But I want to tell you all that some people's true colors will eventually be revealed. Rather than staying in the dark, it's better to face reality sooner. A wave of enthusiasm. Applause broke out from the audience. Seeing the reaction in the hall, I knew my goal had been achieved. Marcus's reputation was completely ruined, and so was Sarah's. They wouldn't get any of what they wanted. The celebration concludes here. Thank you all for coming. With that, I turned to leave. Marcus called out from behind me, Grace, what good does this do you? We could have talked this through. I stopped and turned to look at him. Good? Seeing those who betrayed me get their just desserts, that's the greatest good. As for talking, I smiled. There's nothing left for us to discuss. As I left the venue, I heard arguing behind me. Marcus and Sarah seemed to have started fighting with each other. The video of the engagement celebration quickly went viral online. In less than 2 hours, related topics were on the trending topics. Hashtag Eris exposes fiancé cheating at engagement celebration. Hashtag scumbag publicly humiliated. Hashtag real life revenge fantasy. I sat at home, reading the online comments, feeling a lightness I hadn't felt before. So satisfying. Grace handled that perfectly. Marcus totally deserved it. Wanting to be a gold digger and still cheating, where's his shame? Sarah is even more disgusting. A woman who betrays her best friend is the worst. Rich people's revenge hits different, straight up public humiliation. Support. Women should have this much backbone. Of course, there were some dissenting voices. I feel like Grace was too harsh, publicly humiliating someone like that. Although was wrong, wasn't this revenge a bit excessive? But these questioning voices were quickly drowned out by those supporting me. My followers also soared from hundreds of thousands to over 1 million. My DMs were full of messages of support and encouragement. Grace, you're amazing. How can I get revenge as elegantly as you? You're my idol. Reading these messages, a warmth spread through me. So many people actually supported me. Just then, William pushed open the door and entered. Grace, I saw everything online, William said, sitting beside me. You handled it very well. Dad, don't you think I was too impulsive? I calmly asked him. Impulsive? William shook his head. You were very restrained. If it were me, I would have made them pay a much higher price. I knew what William meant. With the Linwood family's influence, it would be easy to make it impossible for Marcus and Sarah to thrive in this city. I've already had someone handle Marcus's company. All collaborations will be cancelled, and bank loans will be recalled, William said calmly. As for Sarah, her job at the advertising agency is likely gone. Isn't that too severe? I asked, a little worried. Severe? William sneered. What they did to you, that was severe. Grace, remember this, kindness is a virtue, but for those who hurt you, kindness is not necessary. I nodded. William was right. For people like Marcus and Sarah, mercy would be cruelty to myself. My phone rang. It was an unknown number. Grace, it's me, Marcus. Marcus's voice sounded weary. Can we meet? I want to talk. There's nothing to talk about, I said directly. Grace, I know I wronged you, but things are already like this, and what you're doing isn't good for anyone. Can you ask William to back off? I can apologize, give you compensation. Compensation? I laughed. What do you think you have that could compensate me? I can give you some shares in my company, or, Marcus, don't you get it yet? I interrupted him. I don't care about any of your things. All I want is for those who betrayed me to get what they deserve. So are you satisfied now? My reputation is ruined, my company is on the verge of collapse. What else do you want? Marcus's voice was laced with anger. I am very satisfied, I said calmly. This is the price of betrayal. Grace, you're truly ruthless. Ruthless? Compared to your betrayal, what is this? No, don't call me again. We're done. After hanging up, I blocked the number. The next day, I received unexpected news. Sarah was at my door, asking to see me. Let her in, I told the housekeeper. A few minutes later, Sarah appeared in the living room. She looked haggard, her eyes red and swollen, clearly having cried for a long time. Grace. She burst into tears as soon as she saw me. Just say what you need to say, I said, sitting on the sofa, my tone flat. I came to apologize. Sarah knelt down. I was wrong, I was truly wrong. I shouldn't have betrayed you, I shouldn't have been with Marcus. Now you know you were wrong? I looked at her. Then why did you do it in the first place? I don't know, Sarah cried even harder. From the first moment I saw Marcus, I just couldn't control myself. I knew he was your boyfriend, I knew it was wrong, but I just couldn't help it. So you chose to betray our friendship? I didn't mean to betray you. I truly didn't want to hurt you. Sarah looked up at me. Grace, we've been best friends since college. Does all those years of friendship mean nothing? Friendship? I sneered. Sarah, do you think a real friend would do the things you did? Sarah had no reply. And you thought I didn't know, didn't you? This wasn't the first time, was it? I continued. You two were already together last year on my birthday. Sarah's face grew even paler. Did you truly think I knew nothing? That day, Marcus said he was preparing a surprise for me and asked me not to come home early. But I changed my mind and went back, and I saw you coming out of his apartment. I stood up. At the time, I even thought you were helping him with the surprise. Now, looking back, it's just laughable. Grace, that time was really an accident. An accident? Once is an accident, what about twice? 3 times? I cut her off. Sarah, we've known each other for so many years. Do you really think I'd believe your lies? Sarah completely broke down, collapsing to the floor and sobbing. I know I have no right to ask for your forgiveness, but Grace, please, ask William to let me go. I've lost my job, my apartment is being repossessed, I truly have nowhere to go. Nowhere to go? I sneered. When you betrayed me, did you ever consider that I might have nowhere to go? But you're the Linwood heiress, you have everything, you don't need a friend like me. Hearing that, my anger intensified. So in your mind, because I have everything, I deserve to be walked all over? Just because I'm a Linwood, I can be treated like a sucker? No, that's not what I meant. Enough, I said, not wanting to hear any more of her explanations. Sarah, I'm giving you 2 choices. First, get out of this city and never appear before me again. Second, stay here and face all the consequences. Sarah looked at me, her eyes filled with despair. Grace, can't we really go back to how things were? Go back? I shook my head. Sarah, some things, once done, are done. Some words, once said, are said. Friendship, once broken, can never be pieced back together. Sarah slowly stood up, wiping away her tears. I understand, her voice was small. Grace, whether you believe it or not, I truly did consider you my best friend. If that's how you treat your best friend, then I'd rather have no friends at all. Sarah finally left. The next day, I received news that she had bought a plane ticket and left the city. I didn't know where she went, nor did I care to. A week later, one evening, I was reading at home when I suddenly heard arguing outside. You can't do this to me. I want to see Grace. It was Marcus's voice. I walked to the window and looked out. Marcus was arguing with the security guard at the gate. He looked disheveled, unshaven, and his clothes were rumpled. He was a far cry from his former handsome self. Miss, should I call the police? The housekeeper asked. No, let him in, I replied. I wanted to see what else he had to say. A few minutes later, Marcus appeared in the living room. As soon as he saw he rushed over excitedly. Grace, what exactly do you want? He roared furiously. You've ruined everything for me. Isn't that enough? Ruined everything for you? I looked at him calmly. Marcus, you ruined everything for yourself, not me. If you hadn't exposed those videos, if William hadn't gone after my company, would I be like this now? If you hadn't cheated, if you hadn't betrayed me, would any of this be happening? I retorted. Marcus was silenced by my question. Besides, I'd like to remind you, I merely revealed the truth. As for the other consequences, those are the result of your own choices. The truth? Do you think what you know is the whole truth? Marcus suddenly laughed, a twisted, eerie sound. Grace, do you know why I chose you? I frowned. At first, it was certainly because of your family background, Marcus continued. I admit, I approached you to gain the Linwood family's support. I know all of that. But later, I truly fell in love with you. Marcus's voice softened. Grace, my feelings were real during the time we spent together. So what? Does that justify your cheating? My cheating was indeed my fault, Marcus nodded. But do you know? Part of the reason I ended up with Sarah was because of you. Because of me? I found it absurd. What does that have to do with me? Because you're too perfect, Marcus said with a bitter laugh. You're the Linwood heiress, with the best education, the most elegant demeanor, the most beautiful appearance. Being with you, I always felt I wasn't good enough. And that's your reason for betraying me? I needed a balance, Marcus stated. While isn't as accomplished as you, she made me feel needed, feel valuable. Listening to his explanation, I felt both angry and amused. Marcus, Do you realize how ridiculous what you just said is? I stood up. Because I'm too perfect, you needed to find someone imperfect to create balance? What kind of logic is that? You don't understand male psychology. I don't need to understand. I cut him off. Marcus, no matter your reasons, betrayal is betrayal. You could have chosen to leave me, chosen to break up with me, but you had no right to deceive me. Marcus was silent for a moment, then suddenly spoke. So, are you satisfied now? You got the revenge you wanted. Yes, I am very satisfied, I frankly admitted. Seeing those who betrayed me receive their rightful punishment, I am indeed very satisfied. Fine, very well. Marcus's gaze turned chilling. Grace, do you think you've won? I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. What do you mean? You've ruined my career, ruined my reputation, and I won't let you off easy either, Marcus said viciously. I'll make sure everyone knows what a venomous woman you are, Grace. Suit yourself, I said, unconcerned. I have a clear conscience. Clear conscience? Marcus sneered. Then can you honestly say you never truly loved me? That question made me pause. Indeed, I had once truly loved Marcus. See? You can't deny it, Marcus said triumphantly. If you once loved me, why are you doing this so ruthlessly? Because your betrayal killed all the love I had for you, I calmly replied. Marcus, love requires loyalty. Love without loyalty doesn't deserve forgiveness. After left, my life finally returned to peace. The online buzz about me gradually subsided. Although I was occasionally mentioned, it was no longer as sensational as before. I began to re-examine my life. This whole experience taught me many lessons. First, relationships between people are indeed fragile and require careful nurturing. Second, betrayal should never be tolerated. Finally, and most importantly, I learned to believe in my own worth and not let others' betrayals make me doubt myself. I decided to start anew. Professionally, I took over a new company project, beginning to stand on my own. Personally, I started learning new skills, like painting and cooking, making my life more fulfilling. So see. Ally, I made some new friends, all people with good values and character. As for love, I wasn't ready to consider it yet. After betrayal, I needed time to heal my inner wounds. But I believed that one day, I would meet someone truly trustworthy. 3 months later, I met an interesting man at a friend's art exhibition. His name was Sage, and he was a freelance artist. We talked for a long time about everything from art to life, from dreams to reality. His perspectives were insightful, and he was genuinely sincere. I've seen the news about you online, he suddenly said. My heart tightened, expecting him to look at me differently too. Do you think I went too far? I asked. Too far? He smiled. I think you did great. Betrayers should pay a price. Many people said I was too ruthless. Ruthless? For those who have hurt you, you should be a little ruthless. Sage looked at me earnestly. Kindness is a virtue, but for the wicked, kindness is foolishness. Hearing his words, a wave of warmth spread through me. Finally, someone understood me. We exchanged contact information and slowly began to get to know each other. Sage and Marcus were completely different. He didn't care about my family background, nor did he seek my wealth. He simply appreciated me for who I was. We would go to art exhibitions together, discuss art, and do simple but interesting things. Being with him, I felt relaxed and completely at ease. This was a feeling I had never experienced with Marcus. Perhaps, this is what true love is supposed to be like. Not about possession or exploitation, but appreciation and companionship. A year later, my relationship with Sage grew increasingly stable. We weren't rushing into marriage. Instead, we chose to take our time getting to know each other. It was then that Marcus reappeared. This time, he wasn't there to beg for forgiveness, but to provoke me. I hear you have a new boyfriend, he said, sitting in the cafe, his tone laced with sarcasm. Does that concern you? I retorted calmly. Of course it does. Marcus chuckled. I want to see how long you can last this time. What do you mean? Nothing in particular. Marcus shrugged. I just think a woman like you will eventually be abandoned by a man. Marcus, just say what you want to say. I was starting to get impatient. All right, I'll be direct. Marcus's expression turned serious. Grace, do you think you're something special? Do you think your revenge was a success? The facts speak for themselves. Facts? Marcus sneered. I'll tell you a fact. This past year has indeed been tough for me, but I got through it. And? So, I have you to thank. Marcus's words took me by surprise. If it weren't for your act of revenge, I might never have known how strong I truly am. I frowned, unsure of what he was trying to convey. This year, I restarted my business from scratch. And even though it was incredibly difficult, I did it, Marcus continued. What's more, I also found the woman who's truly right for me. Congratulations, I said flatly. Thanks. Marcus smiled. But I didn't come here today to gloat. Then why did you come? To tell you that I forgive you. Hearing that, I almost burst out laughing. You forgive me? I found it absurd. Marcus, get this straight, you wronged me. I didn't wrong you. I know it was indeed my fault back then. Marcus nodded. But your revenge was pretty brutal too. Now we're even, so I choose to forgive you. I don't need your forgiveness. I stood up, preparing to leave. Marcus, let bygones be bygones. Let's not see each other again. Wait, Marcus called out, stopping me. There's one more thing I want to say to you. I stopped. I hope you find happiness, Marcus said earnestly. No matter how much you hate me, I truly hope you meet someone who genuinely loves you and live a happy life. I looked at him, feeling a sudden sense of complexity. This man who had once deeply hurt me was now wishing me happiness. Thank you, I said softly. I hope you find happiness too. Walking out of the cafe, my heart was a mix of emotions. Was the revenge I sought a year ago right or wrong? I thought for a long time and finally concluded, right or wrong, it was my choice. I took responsibility for my choice and accepted the consequences. Most importantly, I had no regrets. Back home, Sage was drawing in the living room. Seeing me return, he put down his brush and walked over. What's wrong? You look a little down. Nothing, just ran into some old issues. I leaned into his embrace. Sage, if one day I do something really awful, what would you do? It depends on what it is. Sage thought for a moment. If it's because I hurt you, then I'd deserve the retaliation. If it's for another reason, I'd try to understand you. No matter the reason, you wouldn't leave me? No, Sage said firmly. Grace, I love you as a person, not some perfect image of you. Everyone has their flaws and their darker sides, and I accept all of you. Hearing his words, the gloom in my heart vanished. Perhaps, that's what true love is. It's not loving you because you're perfect, but accepting your imperfections because I love you. Marcus said he forgave me, but in truth, I couldn't care less about his forgiveness. But's understanding and support meant more to me than anything. The man who had once betrayed me was now a thing of the past. My future, however, lay with the man right in front of me. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your perspectives, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.